bring in Fox News contributor and former CIA station chief Dan Hoffman. And Dan, I want to jump off where Ashley left off on that map of people coming here from countries with national security concerns, as it's labeled. If people from a country with national security concerns stormed our beaches in military gear, we'd call it an invasion. But really, what's the difference, Dan, here when the end result, people entering our country illegally, is the exact same?
Well, we just don't know a lot about these people who are entering the border, and the Border Patrol is just overwhelmed there. And honestly, look, we've got almost as many Democrats as Republicans in the Senate and the House, and neither side is going to get the exact deal that they want. We are a nation of laws, and there were some good pieces of that border deal that was not ultimately approved, increasing the ICE detention facilities, tightening amnesty requirements. I think we've got to be careful about not letting the perfect be the enemy of the good. And yes, the Biden administration needs to take some executive action here. And I'm hopeful that they're asking our intelligence community, the CIA, FBI, about the risks that we're running. But frankly, we don't have the data. We don't know the details on these people who are crossing the border. Some could be terrorists, and that's of grave concern. It's a problem that faces Democrats and Republicans. The fact that we can't get it done on Capitol Hill is disconcerting to me.
Yeah, that's certainly the political issue at hand right now. And Dan, I'd like you to expand upon that a little bit, because we're talking about 2,500 people from Mauritania and Uzbekistan each, 850 from Russia, 1,600 from Afghanistan, and 6,100 from Turkey, among other nations that are of special interest, which means that these people receive additional vetting from Border Patrol before, I guess, they're allowed into the country. From where you sit as the former CIA station chief who served in Moscow, what are the major concerns you have with these numbers?
Well, I'm concerned about organized crime, the extent to which they were able to make it all the way to our border from those places, and how they did it and where they got the money to pay for it. I'm concerned about the potential that some of them may have terrorist connections, that they may be coming here to be part of sleeper cells and mount terrorist attacks down the road. Those are the things that would be of concern to me, and it's why we have a border. It's why we have the CBP and we have ICE. That's why they exist, and it's not functioning right now, to the great detriment to our national security.
Meantime, a recent Reuters report revealing Iran sent Russia hundreds of ballistic missiles. It reads in part, quote, an Iranian military official said there had been at least 4 shipments of missiles, and there would be more in the coming weeks. Dan, is there anything from a military, from an intel, from any perspective we can do to stop this?
I don't know that we're going to be able to stop it. I think one of the things that we've seen, an outgrowth of Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine, is this century's axis of tyranny. Russia, North Korea, China, and Iran all aligned together. Russia relying on China for exports of their hydrocarbons, gas and oil, relying on Iran for drones and missiles, and of course North Korea for artillery. This is classic import substitution for the Russians. Their people are doing without Western consumer goods, but it's proof positive that whatever sanctions the Biden administration thinks that they're going to bring on Russia to change Putin's behavior, or as punishment and retribution for Russia's murder of Alexei Navalny, that's just not going to change Vladimir Putin's calculus. He's perfectly fine relying on Iran and those other dictatorships for the support that he needs.
Yeah, that's a good point. This certainly does say something about the military cooperation between these two countries, and it also says a lot. There are a lot of questions about what this will mean going forward with the war in Ukraine as well. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. Waking up early. Have a great day.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.